Hey everyone, it's me again, and I'm sure you are noticing that I'm not filming on my camera, even though I made a big deal about how I just got it and everything. And there's multiple reasons why. I'm still trying to figure it out, still learning it. I may or may not have forgotten to order a memory card. That may or may not be on its way to me, supposedly. And you can judge me for that. I was not thinking. I don't know the first thing about cameras. So this video is going to be filmed on my phone, unfortunately. But it's the last video that I'm filming on my phone. I'm gonna figure this camera out once I get my memory card, so I feel really stupid. I'm sorry I made such a big deal about my camera, but I'm gonna use it as soon as I can, which will hopefully be tomorrow. But until then, I really wanted to get this currently writing tag done, so that's what I'm here for, the currently writing tag. I was tagged by Ember Blake of EmberBlakeWrites. Check out her channel if you haven't already, and I'll link her tag down below. And it was originally created by the Nerdy Book Nerd, and I'll also link their original video down below as well. And I'm just gonna jump right into the questions, because that's the point of this video, right? So yeah, question 1. What are you currently working on? My current project is a young adult novella. I at first was calling it cyberpunk, but it's really not. It's just kind of science fiction, basically. I don't have like an actual summary or a tagline or a pitch because it's still so new of a project, but basically in the very far future, this city is kind of this dystopic mess, and there's one man who kind of controls the whole city. He's very charming and charismatic, and the people think he's a good leader, but the people who, don't live in the wealthiest part of town, they know better, and the story focuses on them and how they are struggling to get by. And behind the scenes, the man who runs the city is doing some shady stuff with his inventions. He's a genius, he invents things, and he has, robots that work for him, and I don't know, it sounds really stupid to talk about it this way. I probably should have nailed down a summary, but basically, a man named Ezekiel is in charge of this city. He is a technological genius, and he is constantly inventing and upgrading his robot workers, I guess you could call them. In my story, they're referred to as automatons. Automatons? I don't know. I know how to spell it, it's just weird to say it. And my main character is a girl named Mirai, who doesn't really have a family, but she has a kind of group that, they cling to each other and they survive the best way that they can, because they're considered kind of, I guess, the poorer people in this city. And the story just takes place in this one city. It's got walls around it, to protect the people, as Ezekiel would have them believe. And so basically, that's City Lights. I'm gonna work on a better summary, I swear. Question 2. What is your current word count? Actually, I have to check. It's not that impressive because, like I said, it's still so new. It's kind of in its infancy right now. I am currently at, 6,564 words, which is not a lot. It is a novella, so it's not, it's not going to be too long, so maybe it's not that bad of a word count after all. Question number 3. What is your current deadline? I did have a deadline of July 1st. I really wanted to finish this by then so that I could then work on something new for Camp NaNoWriMo. But with my job and with taking care of, my normal adult responsibilities, I just really don't think that's going to be possible. So my new deadline is now the end of July. I'm going to carry this project over into Camp Nano. Question number 4. What is your current writing music/song? Definitely the Proto Men. If you've watched my earlier vlogs, you'll see that Project City Lights is very much inspired by the Proto-Men's music, which is kind of funny because the Proto-Men's music is kind of loosely inspired by the Mega Man video games. But the Proto-Men's second album, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. It's called like Act 2, The Father of Death, I think. But that whole album, plus there's two singles that came after This City Made Us and Hold Back the Night. So the second album plus those two singles are just on a constant loop, basically, when it comes to writing this story. I love it. It's perfect. It almost feels like some of these songs, not all of them, because the story is very different from the story the Proto-Men are telling, but some like verses in some of these songs could almost be like directly related to my characters. Like I'm like, oh my god, this character would sing this, so this character would sing that. So that's been kind of fun. And if you haven't checked them out, please check out the Proto-Men. They're so good. They're just so good. Question number 5. What is your current writing snack? I could say everything because I like to eat and I pretty much just eat anything. I don't care what it is. I don't know. Lately, my favorite snack, I brought props. Brought props. But my favorite snack has been Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I was never even really a big fan of just regular Cheetos, but I love Flaming Hot Cheetos. I'll even eat the extra Flamin' Hot ones, even though they kind of kill me. I don't want to eat too many of them, though, because I don't want to, get hospitalized like Lil Xan, the rapper who's famous for face tattoos, dating Miley Cyrus's sister, and getting hospitalized for eating Flaming Hot Cheetos, so trying to be a little careful with them. I also, chocolate, any kind of chocolate, but my favorite is dark chocolate and Reese cups. And I would have brought those as props, but if there's chocolate in this house, it doesn't last long. I eat it. Yeah, it happens. And also, making blended coffee drinks it's like the only thing I really like to do when I'm writing. Though that'll probably change once the weather gets colder. I'll switch back to like hot coffee drinks and stuff. But for now, this is just some Starbucks unsweetened iced coffee with butterscotch latte creamer and some ice, blended up, and it is delicious. Question number 6. What is your current problem / struggle / hurdle? Genre. I like to watch science fiction. I like to read science fiction. I like, the concept of science fiction. But writing science fiction is so hard for me. I feel like I'm not smart enough to write it. I don't really, I know how to use my MacBook. That's about the extent of my knowledge of technology. And science fiction is so heavily based on technology. And even though my story is dystopian, it still has a lot of technology because one of my main characters, much like the leader of the city, he's a genius with technology. And fortunately, he's not a point of view character, so I can kind of flub it a little as I'm writing, because if I was writing from his point of view, it would be no good. And now I'm starting to panic because I just realized I am planning a short story after this that will be from his point of view, and that's not good. I gotta brush up on my technology. I'm getting better. I'm getting to the point where I reach kind of something and I kind of just make it up right then and there. I'm like, all right, just make something up, move on, and we'll come back to this during revisions. You can do more research, actually figure out how tech works, But yeah, my biggest hurdle has been the fact that this genre is just so far out of my comfort zone, which really sucks because I'm not a big gamer. But I have 2 video games that I would straight up die for, and that's Dragon Age and Mass Effect. And everyone who knows me knows that I'm obsessed with Mass Effect. My mom went to California to visit my aunt, and I tagged along a few years ago, and I saved up all my money just to go. And it was nice to see my aunt, but I'm not gonna lie to you, that's not the reason I went. I went because there's a theme park over there. I'm drawing a blank on the name right now, but they have a massive, I don't know if they still do actually, it's been a few years. They had, at the time, a 4D experience for Mass Effect, And yeah, I went to California for a 5-minute long 4D experience at a theme park. And I wrote it like 3 or 4 times. I would have done more, but the lines were really long. So yeah, people know me as, a Mass Effect fan, and with as many times as I've played the games, like you would think, I've tried writing Mass Effect fanfiction back in the day before, like when I wrote fanfiction. Writing science fiction is just very difficult for me. And this novella is definitely a test. It is a test, and I am struggling. But at the same time, there are moments when I'm having fun with it because it is so different from what I normally write. So, question number 7. Who is currently your favorite character? His name is Eben, and he is my main character's mentor, and I love him. He has a really cool cybernetic arm that he created himself. He's the other main, I mentioned there's another character who's a tech genius. That's him. He is just a genius. He made his own cybernetic arm, and he is a workaholic. He's kind of exactly the kind of character I probably would have created in a roleplay. Slightly grizzled older guy who doesn't get a lot of sleep. He's always working. There's always something on his mind. He's very weary, but at the same time, he's got a gentle heart and a subtle sense of humor, and he has just a really great relationship with my main character, and that's been the funnest part, is fleshing them out together. I love it, fleshing them out together. Fleshing them both out and their relationship, that's been the funnest part of writing so far. I love him. I love him so much, and he has a really much deeper backstory in the grand scheme of things, so I'm definitely planning to write a short story about him afterwards. A problem I have is I always fall in love with my secondary characters, and sometimes that even I lose inspiration and motivation because I get sick. I'm like, I don't want to focus on these main characters, I want to focus on this character. Knowing that I'm planning to tell his story after this, I'm okay now, because I know, I'm like, alright, you'll get to him. It's okay. Yeah, it's like a reward, like, once I finish this story, then I can tell his story, so it's kind of keeping me on track, knowing that I'm going to write a second story just about him. But yeah, he's my favorite, and I love him so much, I really do. He definitely couldn't be the main character of this story, though, so I'm not in any danger of him taking over, thankfully, but yeah, he's my favorite. Question number 8. Which draft are you currently working on? I am working on the first draft, though I think it could also be considered the 0 draft. I haven't really looked into the 0 draft a lot. I don't know, I don't really know much about it. Now, I'm trying to, I don't know, I think it could be considered a 0 draft, but I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look into what a 0 draft is. But either way, it's my first draft. It's the first time I'm getting this story out, basically. Question number 9, the final question. What is your current number of works in progress? This one is kind of my only work in progress right now, unless you count, I'm trying to think, unless you count my trilogy. I'm currently working on book 2, which is called Stone Soul, and that's the one I finished a few vlogs ago. I finished the second draft of that. I am going to be starting revisions / the third draft very, very soon, but I'm not actually working on it now. So current works in progress that I'm actively working on is just this one, Project City Lights, but shortly I'll be working on revisions and a new draft for Stone Soul, so it'll be 2, but for now it's just 1. So yeah, that was really fun. I kind of wish I'd worked on a better summary for Project City Lights, but while I know the theme, I also know I'm still really early in the game with this story, and I don't want to box myself in because something could change. I could decide to completely 180 the plot and do something different, and I don't know. And I'm sorry again about my stupid camera. Like, I was so excited, and the battery charged, so I was able to start looking at it, and it seems really, really cool. And then I realized, I was like, oh, that's why Amazon was suggesting I buy a memory card. That makes sense, but I was just so excited to buy the camera itself that I didn't think. So I'm sorry for the basically false video where I was like, oh yeah, okay, this last video, film with my phone. Now I'm gonna film with my camera all the time. But I do plan to get my camera working. So for this currently writing tag, I am going to tag 3 people. And if I tag you and you don't want to do it, or maybe you've already been tagged by somebody, obviously, no pressure, I just want to spread the fun. And if I don't tag you and you want to do it, just do it. I tag you. Say I tagged you. Like, it's fun. If I don't tag you, it's just because I'm awkward tagging people. I'm a nerd. I'm shy. I don't know what the frig I'm doing. So if I didn't tag you and you really want to answer these questions, just do it and say I tagged you. I would love to watch it. Please, just do it. But yeah, the 3 people I am tagging are Kevin, aka Kevlandia. I'll link to his channel. I'll link to all their channels, by the way. Bobby D. And, God, I'm afraid I'm going to say her name terribly. Sarah Weber. I'm so sorry. I try. I really do. But you heard me. I couldn't even say automaton correctly, so I'm sorry. But yeah, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Or if you've already been tagged by someone else and you're already like in the process of editing your own currently writing tag, that's okay, I'll get over it. No, I'm just kidding. I think that's about it for this video, the currently writing tag. It was super fun. I wish I could have filmed it on my camera, but I'm gonna get off of here and actually do some writing for the day, because I haven't done anything except play Dragon Age. I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. If not, that's okay. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.